Hi guys, Stephanie here. So today we're going to talk about love bombing, the fun phase of the narcissistic empath dynamic. Um, and I just want to say that while I will be going through all of the basic phases of narcissistic abuse and also the healing phases as well, and what you'll have experienced, or maybe you're just going through it right now. Um, Ultimately, my goal for this channel is to have you use this awful experience to spiritually awaken to your highest potential, to the highest version of yourself. Now, if you're not spiritual, that's okay too. We'll say that maybe you would use it to transform yourself as a person and live the best version of yourself, and just keep it at that. Anyway, love bombing. So in the beginning of the initial stages, when you first meet the narcissist, or maybe you already knew them, but basically you've upgraded to this level now. Maybe you already always had a thing for them, which was the case with me. I thought I loved him more than any person that I had ever been with, met. And we did start out dating, but then we quickly became friends for a really long time. And I ended up having two children with someone else in a relationship, and they were friends, and it was all good. And I just was able to keep my feelings for him at bay. And then, till I couldn't anymore, I was long done with a relationship with the other person, and for years. And we had lost a mutual friend, and we had just started getting close again. And it was really my first experience with, I wouldn't say first experience because it was actually my second narcissistic relationship, but the other one was a different level. I will only use this one for personal reasons, and because it was a psychopathic narcissistic relationship, which is the absolute worst one, I believe. I do believe that it matters what type of narcissist they are. I don't believe that the lower level ones damage you as much as the psychopathic ones. So, in any event, love bombing. What is love bombing? Um, you're being told things by this person that you're falling in love with that you've never been told by anyone quite that way before. All the things that you know are true of yourself, all the beautiful things about you that you know exist, but maybe you buried those. I won't get into why, that's a whole nother topic, but maybe those things really weren't on the surface. But everyone wants to hear all the good things. And I think the main thing that they do is they manipulate you in such a way that you love yourself as much as you can possibly love yourself when you're with them. You feel as though they make you better. And that's actually their aim. I mean, that's their game. That's their end game. They want you to feel that way. What's really happening? um, they are mirroring your the beautiful parts of you, the highest parts of you, back to you. So they're mimicking your own love back to you, because a fake person, a person that is incapable of love, such as especially a narcissistic psychopath, doesn't have the capacity to love you like that. So all the things that they're saying to you, they're actually mirroring you back to you. Um, and as an empath, um, we have our own sets of issues living in the world as empaths. They know all that. They know that you feel different from everyone else, that you always felt that way, that you've always had this sort of feeling that you don't belong in the world. And all of that stuff gets mirrored back to you. All of it. Um, they have an uncanny supernatural ability to know what your damage is, what your wounds are, and they will use them against you. That comes at a later time. But initially, they'll use all the things that you feel insecure about, that you're not sure about, they'll actually pump you up, so to speak. Oh, you're so intelligent. Oh, you're so different from anyone I've ever been with. You get me. You get me more than anyone. We're both spiritual warriors. And by the way, you know, um, a majority of the people are empaths that get into these dynamics. Not everyone. Some of them are just straight codependents, and um, so they already know that you feel distant from the rest of the world, and they'll just keep coming at you with this. You suddenly think that they're the Dalai Lama. And what could be better than that? Because, you know, you're already on a spiritual path and you meet this person and you think that they're on the same path as you. But of course, they'll always let you know that they're on a little bit higher of a path than you. And you don't really know the things that they know. And so, understand that because you are who you are, you're okay with that. And so all of that gets allowed, and, you know, all the insecurities that you have down the line will eventually get thrown back at you. But this is love bombing. Love bombing is the opposite of that. Love bombing is you're insecure about this, so they'll be like, oh no, you're great. You're great at this or great at that. Because they already know what you're insecure about. There is a supernatural aspect about them. And it isn't a good thing, because I want you to understand what they are. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there that will say that they're demons. Well, I don't totally agree with that. It's a little bit strong of a. Sometimes they do act like demons, don't they? They definitely are dark souls. I do believe that they come into the world like that. Do they incarnate into families that will feed that sort of dynamic? Will a psychologist diagnose them based on that as a narcissist and blame it on that? Absolutely. But it's only a very small percentage of why they are what they are. They come into the world like that as dark souls. You don't stand the chance. They're not going to change ever. So while you're being love bombed by them, they're actually laughing behind your back at how easily you're manipulated. Um, So I just wanted to give you a heads up on what's really happening when you're being love bombed. And uh, they also, I don't want you to be confused, when they're love bombing you, they do believe that you are their savior. That, they're always, especially the kind of narcissist that I dealt with, which was a psychopathic, somatic, upper mid-range narcissist. So really high on the spectrum, really super intelligent, and was like a womanizer. Of course, that really isn't ultimately what he was, but he was with a lot of women, slept with a lot of women, and was looked at by the rest of the world as just this guy who was a player, which is complete bullshit, by the way. So understand that they do believe when they're telling you all that stuff. They're not telling you because they believe it about you. It's more that they believe that you're their savior, because they're constantly, perpetually looking for the one that will put their fragile ego back together and make it all better. And for a time, you do that for them. That's why you're there. That's why you were promoted to primary source. It took me 16 years to be promoted to primary source, because I changed as a person, and I took on more of the traits that he was looking for in a primary source, which I will go into in another video. So, understand that you were very carefully chosen for your traits, for your beautiful traits, and not because, please don't ever think it's because you weren't pretty enough or skinny enough or beautiful enough or creative enough or any of those things. You're none of those things. You can be that to someone for real. And you just have to hear yourself on a level where you don't attract those people in your life any longer. And again, that's a whole nother video. So I'm done with this right now, guys, and I hope that you have a good understanding of love bombing. I know that there's a lot of videos out there about it. I don't think they really touch a lot on the mirroring part. At least not many people do. But there's a lot of great people out there. I suggest you go to and watch all of their stuff. There's more people that have been doing this for a while that are more known, people that I healed with. I'm going to provide some links at the bottom so that you could, it's never about competition for me. My ultimate goal is to help you climb out of this nasty relationship that you're in, but not only get out of it, to thrive as a person and not be a victim. That is what I missed. I'm sorry. To get out of victimhood. That is my goal for you. Get out of victimhood. Stop being a victim. There's so many sites out there that keep you in victimhood, and you keep yourself there too. You don't have to be a victim. You can climb out of this the most amazing soul. And maybe, hopefully, you'll help other people and pass the info on. That's my wish for you. Okay, have a good day. Happy Memorial Day.